that they had created an app when she was 15, and they, well, there's some stories that say she or they both did, because he was in prison for about 7 years, and she wanted to talk to him much more, a, a way more. You always want to talk to your parents, and so they both kind of helped like get this off the ground. But she is the like the main one that was like, pursuing this. And it's so crazy too that all this came about because you want to talk to you want to talk to your father more. You want to talk to your loved ones that are in jail. It's crazy. But um but so she started this when she was 15. She started this from Buffalo, New York. She wants to she's redefining family connections through a groundbreaking mobile app, Photo Patch, which I just now calm down. Okay, so designed to bridge the communication gap between children and their incarcerated parents, this app enables users to send photos, letters, effectively free of charge. JJ's mission is deeply personal, inspired by her own experience to stay connected with her father during his 8 years incarcerated. I was wrong. Need to pay more attention. At just 3 years old, JJ faced the challenge of limited and costly communications with her father, Antoine. Right? I mean, it costs a lot in there because what? You got like a brother and sister and stuff. It's hard out here, especially being black. Like it's real tough out here. Like if I'm being honest, it's real tough out here because so JJ she is an 18-year-old coder, app developer, youth leader, and entrepreneur. She's a big fan of anything tech related and especially loves getting hands on. She is also advocate for diversity in the tech fields and beyond, and aspires aspires to make real impact on the world. She also enjoys a multitude of activities such as singing, rapping, dancing, piano, volleyball. JJ is a super goofy, kind-hearted, and overall a very good girl, very happy girl who loves to keep herself and others smiling, which is amazing. I don't think, I mean, even with the books, I just think I'm not there yet where, given me some time, maybe I could create an app. I mean, not that I couldn't do it, it's just that I want to create an app that people can use. I don't want to create something that does give me fame, but then it's like a year, 2 years from now, it's going to be like an afterthought because somebody will come out with something better. I need something that lasts long. But for her and her dad, which is just amazing, because if I had this app when my dad was in prison, then we would have talked more. We would have talked way more instead of when he got out. Then we started talking because first of all, I didn't even know my dad was in jail. It's like haven't seen him in a while. So, but that's besides the point. She seems like a smart girl, her and her father, because there is a video out where her father kind of did do some research on the tech part, the tech side. Even with him being in jail, he kind of like taught himself some of this stuff. So with all that, she built an app, so she deserves this. She deserves to be on this list and to be on the ninth episode, because I haven't met her. I've seen some videos, but if you're building an app, you got to be smart. You got to be you got to be a smart person. You also got to be kind, and if you're into all the stuff she's into, singing, rapping, dancing, piano, volleyball, then you got to be somebody that people like. You're not with all her merits that she has here. You're not somebody that's mean. You're a nice person. She seems like the type that'll help an old lady across the street. With all her merits. Like you built an app, and so at 18. So by the time you get older, you go to college, you're gonna have a job thriving in fucking tech. You know what I mean? Like you just keep on doing what you're doing, stay focused, and from the help with her family and her father, mothers, everybody, she's going to make it a long way. You know, like she's going to make it a long fucking way. And I'm very happy for her. And I'm very happy for her. Like I said, she deserves to be on this list as a young entrepreneur. And this is part of our black history as well because she is making history. She invented an app. You know, she is making history. This is a part of our history. And I'm pretty sure, like me, there's a lot of ignorant black people that didn't even know about her or knew that she created an app because after I found out who she was, this was the first time I heard that she had built an app to so you can communicate with your loved ones so you can communicate with your loved ones that are in prison. I didn't even know that. I didn't hear anything about it, which is crazy. And this is the website. This is the website. We connect over 75,000 youths to their incarcerated parents. So, so they have a little thing where you can contact her, like, and they give you like a little summary. That's amazing. So 1 million, we've mailed over 1 million photos to parents in prison. That's amazing. So I had to get started here. Okay, so it says 58.5% of state parents inmates report having never been visited by their children. That's actually understandable. And 44.7% of federal partner inmates report having never been visited by their children. Yeah. Okay, so it says get started here. So I guess I just click on it. So how does this work? So, so get so oh here. Okay, so I click you. So you go in here. You click here. Oh, okay. Nothing happened. Okay, that's just crazy as hell too, though. So I click here. It brings me to Unlock Academy. It's a free online. Oh, so I guess it helps you code. I guess it helps you code. It's a free online course, and it says learn how to code. I'm just stupid. I'm just stupid. That's all it is. I'm just stupid. A growing problem, communication, our mission. I know what your mission is. I know what your mission is. Low self-esteem, impaired achievement, motivation, and poor peer relations. In addition, these children content with feeling like anxiety, shame, sadness, grief, social isolation, and guilt. The children will often withdraw and regress developmentally. Oh, that's that's actually pretty bad. You gotta talk to you gotta talk to your parents, man. But I love the little website. And I just now remember it is an app. So if I would have to get this on my phone. Like it says download the app. So we go, yeah, download the app. I would generally have to get it on my phone and for I probably will. When I come back and edit this video, I'll probably download it and just showcase that from my phone onto here. So let's go to actually let's go to this one right here.
EVE Online is a vast universe, alive with the unrelenting activity.
Wilson Morales from Black Women TV talking to Antoine and JJ, who are part of this documentary called Generation Impact, The Coder. Obviously, I've read it, your stories. It's inspired a lot of people, but here you guys are live and in person. So talk to me how this thing got started and how you got all this visibility that we're talking.
Right, yeah. Well, I'm Antoine, and this is my young daughter JJ, and yeah, we're just a daddy-daughter duo out just, I guess, just committed to our passion, and the more we show it, the more people just receive it. So yeah, it kind of starts with just my story and getting into some trouble back in 2008, and that led to me going to prison. And what seemed like it could have just been like, a really really bad thing, just try to flip it upside down and make something positive out of it and try to make an impact. So, they say you go to prison and you pay your debt to society, that way, but I was like, that was not enough. I want to figure out other ways to make a real impact in this world. And one of those things was just through education. So I just started really focusing on bettering myself and my mindset. And one thing that really helped was learning how to code while in prison. I had access to some computers because I was in a college program, and I took advantage of those computers and started teaching myself how to code. And that, alongside of my personal relationship with my family, trying to stay in touch with them, that those two things kind of merged for me. I was like, what, how can I use this new skill of coding and learn about technology to make it easier for myself or other people in prison to also communicate with each other. So I started by just building this simple website that allowed family members to upload photos and letters like you would do on Facebook. Just upload a message and attach a photo to it. And yeah, and the goal was just to be able to use that um, to connect family members together.
Mhm.
So it was a really simple concept, but something that wasn't around, something that wasn't useful, something, I mean, that wasn't around being used or implemented. So it was crazy that I was the first one to build it. And when I was released from prison, I actually turned it into a nonprofit 501c3 organization. And
Like that's what I'm talking about. Imagine being in prison for like that long, and you teach yourself to code to the point where you come out and you make a nonprofit. That's great. Cause you should inspire to be better than your old self. Cause your old self is the person that landed you in prison. You got to become bigger, but you got to improve bigger and better, right? Exactly what he did. Now he's there for his family. He got a nonprofit, right? You on the news and everything, and also help, and all the other people that he helped out who are in prison, all the males and females that are in prison who haven't seen their families, and you helping out them too. This is what Black history is made of right here. Getting out of prison, starting a whole nonprofit to help other blacks and other whites or whoever to see photos, emails, and letters from your children and whoever else wants to send them to you. Because I'm be honest, I wouldn't have done this. I've literally told my friend. I said, if you ever go to prison, I will not put money on your books. I will only come and see you just to tell you that you in this bitch. Like you not getting out anytime soon, so you better do right. Cause I ain't putting no money on your books. I'm just coming to make fun of you. I told him that I'm not a good person, but that's what you should aspire to for sure. He's a great man he's a smart man, great man with a smart and great daughter too, and his whole family is great for instilling into their daughter and they father that they're behind you, stand behind one another.
and ended up getting some help from my daughter here as well.
Okay, JJ, how old were you when you started getting involved? Obviously, your dad's your dad's in prison, but when did you learn to start, when did your technical skills come into play?
Yeah, my technical skills came obviously after he came home from looking at him and just being inspired and wanting to see what he was doing. So I was 10 years old when I first learned how to code. My dad taught me, and I thought it would be like a really cool skill to learn because I seen him doing it. So I just figured, why not do it?
Mhm. And then you got the organization, you started it up, and then your daughter's helping you on the side. But when did it really take off? Like first of all, how long were you in prison for?
7 years.
7 years. Okay, so you put it.
Either I got it wrong or they got it wrong, because I did say 7 the first time, then it said 8, so it was 7 when you get it from the source. Okay.
So you had 7 years. Okay, you were so. When did you start learning to code?
Yeah, maybe about 3 or 4 years in. Yep.
So basically, you were 4.
2011.
So you were in prison and already coded for 4 years before you got out.
Yes,
You know,
exactly.
and then you started your business, and kids are always around parents, learning what they do.
Yeah,
And she took it off, and she took off.
right.
And then when did it started getting visibility where people started to talk and wanted to talk to you about your story?
I would say I'm gonna pass that part to JJ. Once she built the mobile app, like that's when things really, because we just had a website before, but once she built the mobile app, it kind of really exploded.
Hmm. How did you go about building this mobile app at a young age, and then making it happen? I know people could do things from home, but tell me your story.
Yeah, so basically, the app was just always something that we needed and something that everybody talked about. But it's always a lot of different stuff going on. So I had just learned how to like really code, and I needed something to, test my skills out on. And then I just was like, it would be really cool to try to build the app because it's something we need. It'll be way more convenient, and I know like kids out here, need this. And I just learned this cool skill. So why not merge the two ideas and just really try to make this app? And that's what happened. I ended up really getting into it, and I built it out in a couple of months and then showed it to everyone. They loved it, and we ended up actually being able to get it published and out there for people to use. And then from there, it just kind of took off.
Now, when you say everyone, like who's the person that really said this is something good? Well, let me introduce you to some people. Let's get this thing going.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform.
My dad.
Okay. so once you believed her and took her seriously enough to like, oh, this thing really works. Who's the person you called to get it going?
Well, what I did was I took advantage of the power of social media. And, me, actually, JJ and I sat down together and we made a list of like what big platforms we wanted to be on.
Mhm.
And it was kind of funny. The first one on the list was Steve Harvey, and we are like, hey, it would be cool to be on the Steve Harvey show with this, and the Ellen show, and a couple other celebrities to shout us out or something like that. So we made this list, and then I went to my social media, which was getting pretty big because I teach people how to code as well, and so I got a pretty big following from that. So I was like, hey, everybody just tag Steve Harvey and let him see what this young girl is doing. She's 12 years old at the time, and she built this amazing piece of software. People should be talking about this. So within like 24 hours of us posting that and telling people to tag him, we heard something from his team, and that was really cool. Within a month, we was on his show, and then that just turned into more and more media highlights after that.
And where are we now? Do you have a full big company? Do you have a staff? You're still teaching people. Where are we?
Yeah, yep.
All of the above.
All the above. Yeah, we've hired a bunch of people over the last couple years to help us teach, to help us help people get into the tech industry. We have a cool team helping us with updates for the new app that's going to be coming out for Photo Patch. So it's two separate companies. Unlock Academy is where we teach people how to code, and then Photo Patch is where our nonprofit is, where we use this app to keep families communicated and connected.
Mhm. Now, with the photo app, have you like broke it, expanded it, obviously, so that it goes to not just prisons, but everywhere else around the world, that people can share this?
Not yet, not yet. It's on our roadmap for sure, but it's just that prison is such a huge thing. It's
Yeah.
really big. It's 2 million kids in the nation alone who need help, who have a mom or dad in prison. So
Mhm.
it's like trying to like reach out to them is first, and as we help all of them, then we'll be able to expand and help other people, like people overseas in the Marines or something like that, or nursing homes. We have other ideas as well.
Mhm. Now, JJ, technology is always changing. It's like what you learned 3 years ago is probably, you never know, obsolete. How do you keep up with what's going on in the world in terms of technology? Like you obviously have put this together, but obviously, as I said before, you never know. Today's news is yesterday's. And so how do you stay up and ahead of the game?
Right. Just staying on top of it and learning new things and always doing research. That's why it's great to have my dad by my side because he's like way more advanced than me and he knows a lot of stuff and he knows what's new and like, what's good. So it's great to have him as my teacher because it's like a teacher. A teacher's always teaching you new things. You go to the next grade and you learn something higher than what you learned last year. And that's what my dad is for me. He's my teacher. So it's able to keep me in a good space to always keeping up with technology.
Mhm. And what about you, Antoine? Obviously, how are you still learning? Obviously, you're out now. Have you met like other coders, and are you learning from them to basically make your skills much more bigger?
For sure. Yeah, networking is important to know what's going on, staying abreast with blogs and podcasts. Just like we're avid learners, that's it. We're just students of the game, students of this industry. Like you said, things change so quick. So we're just staying on top of it.
hmm But this is an interesting story because obviously, it's a father daughter, and it's a short, but when people see this, and obviously your story's been told now for some time, what do you want them to get out of this? As far as hearing your story and seeing the accomplishments both of you have made.
One of our biggest mantras is like, if we can do it, you can do it.
Right.
That's really big. That's what we set out to do is we help people unlock what's inside of them because our target audience are people who don't believe, people who think that you have to be a certain type of person to get into this industry or to build something cool. So our whole mantra is just like, if we can do it, you can do it as well. And that starts by believing in yourself, by getting around the right team, what we call the right tribe, and having that support system, people who believe in you and show you that you don't have to be a specific type of person or a nerdy kind of person or have a big extensive background in mathematics. You can still do it.
Yeah, and it's not even about color or race. You know,
Right.
it's
Hmm.
just about your circumstances and your daughter, father and a daughter. Doesn't matter about what color, what race, what ethnicity. It's a simple story. And so when I think about it now, when you think about the pandemic, did your business grow during the pandemic because we were all home and we have nothing but our computer. Our computer became our best friend. Because it
Right.
was the only way to communicate, just like we can do now. And during the Zoom thing, I'm sure there are a lot of people that had to pivot, their careers and try something new for those who couldn't go to work. And did your business grow? Because you're able to teach people online and so forth.
It did.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It was a blessing for sure for us in disguise. At first, it was like our first couple months, we were trying to figure out, just like everybody else, like what's happening with the world, what's about to happen. But once things started kind of settling, we realized that online education was a big thing for people. People really was like, hey, I need to learn new skills because a lot of stuff that they knew before or were doing wasn't essential. And, jobs got shut down. So they come to find out tech is an essential skill. You could do it from anywhere. Working remote has been a big blessing for us. So it definitely helped us out in a major way. Same thing with photo patch, with prisons shutting down and no contact visits. It was easy for people to now say, you know what, I'm gonna have to communicate through this mobile app called Photo Patch. So we got a lot more downloads throughout the pandemic.
hmm And JJ, are you in school now? Are you still in school?
I am homeschooled, so I'm still in school, but I'm homeschooled.
Okay. What grade are you in, or what grade are you going to? Yeah, that was
Going
school.
in, all right. I'm going into the 11th grade. I'm in high school
Okay. And I'm sure, have you been reached out for colleges? Is that the game plan? That's, to go to college, hopefully, and if that's what you want to do, or just, build your own business since you got it going now.
now. Yeah, that's definitely something that I like haven't all the way like made a decision about. I feel like I'm still young and I still have time. And I don't want to like put myself in a box right now and make a decision right now and then it comes to the time and be like, I actually changed my mind, but like the plan's already set. So I'm still like learning and growing and like figuring out with everything right now. So I feel like as years go on, I'll be sure like, oh, this is what I really want to do.
hmm Well, this is an amazing story. Obviously, we're going to keep telling you stories because, both apps are growing, and this is what we need. We need, and the fact that you guys are people of color is great, because we need to find the next success story, and you already have it, and we just gotta. I think there are a lot more people out there. It's just a matter of getting their stories told. It's always about the visibility.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you guys taking the time talking to me. We're gonna get the story out, obviously, at some point. Whether you're in New York or anywhere else, maybe we'll meet. We don't know, but either way, we have this app where we can see each other and talk, and that's good enough for me. So whatever you guys do throughout the day, stay safe, have fun, and we'll talk down the road, hopefully.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you, Wilson. Appreciate you so much, sir.
Atera is the IT painkiller. Remote
Amazing.
monitoring and
Oh my gosh, man, cut that shit out. Oh Jesus, amazing.
Right now, more than 2 million Americans are in prison. In our NBC News series, Justice for All.
She said American. She ain't talking about black people. I know it's more than that. Don't let them fool you.
We're shining a light on stories of hope, inspiration, and some change in the criminal justice system.
So this morning, the story of Antoine Patton, when incarceration made communication with his young daughter difficult, he used his time behind bars to create a brand new system with the goal of helping all inmates keep in better touch with their loved ones. Here's his story. Every day is a gift for Antoine Patton. After serving a 7-year prison sentence, he cherishes every moment of freedom, especially being able to speak and spend time with his family.
Back in 2008, I was arrested for illegal possession of a weapon. One of the hardest things about being in prison was the lack of communication. Being hundreds of miles away from my family meant no visits. Prison phone calls were really, really expensive.
Not having my dad around was pretty hard. I wanted to be able to see his face and talk to him every day, and I wasn't able to.
So not being able to guide her and provide for her was really tough. So I thought, hey, maybe I should be dedicating this time to really working on myself so that way I can go home and be a provider. This was in 2010, and this tech craze was just happening. I'm like, what the heck am I missing? And I just really started educating myself. I enrolled into a college program. I found me a book, took it back to the cell, and eventually I started teaching myself how to code. And I knew I was onto something. What I found out was the best companies are the ones that solve a real problem. So I looked at my own life and I was like, what's the problem that I have? Prison communication is super difficult. The family member has to send a letter through the mail. There's thousands of prisoners around the nation, and each one have their own set of rules. There's a picture with a peace sign, can be taken as gang mail. So you just never knew if you were really going to get your letter.
Being able to send letters and get letters from my dad was really, really important.
For me, letters were pretty vital. We needed to get those letters out. We needed those letters to make it to him by a certain time.
When they would get sent back, it would be pretty sad because it's like, now he doesn't get to know what I just did today or this thing that I really wanted him to see.
I couldn't afford a letter being bounced back. That means another month or 2 months, I'm not receiving a letter. So I started thinking, like, what if there was an easier way?
Antoine then enlisted the help of his cousin Greg, who worked with him to turn the idea into a nonprofit.
I sent him a business plan and was like, hey, this is what I'm thinking.
Building a business with Antoine while he was incarcerated was kind of hard, but we still made it work.
And that's where Photo Patch came from, where photos will help patch these wounds of hurt and regret and loneliness and build that communication gap that exists. Anybody who uses our service can upload photos, type a letter, and press send. Our team is going to print it all out, package it, and ship it to the prison for them, all for free. When my daughter would send me letters of pictures of hearts, those letters would patch any wounds that I had.
Even though it's through letters, we don't see each other or can't hear each other, it's still a certain bond that we're making a connection with.
I was released from prison November 18, 2014, one of the best days of my life.
Oh, it was very exciting. I just stared at him for a few minutes and he was like, look, you got my eyes, you got my nose. It was a great moment.
2 weeks after I got out of prison, I had my first job in the tech industry. I was hired as a web developer, and for me, it was confirmation that I was on the right path. JJ would see me typing on a computer all day, and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm coding. She's like, what's coding?
I was like, this crazy stuff looks cool, I want to do it.
So I started teaching her how to code, and JJ was like, Photo Patch is really cool, Dad, but why is it that we only have a website and we don't have a mobile app? And I'm like, okay, well, that's your project. How about you gonna build it? 3 months later, she was done with the mobile app, and it kind of blew my mind.
We want children to know that it's a right for them to be able to communicate with their parents. That's why I worked so hard on that app to make sure other kids had the same opportunity that I had.
JJ and I have been on a mission to teach 2,020 people how to code by 2020.
We're just trying to focus on helping people understand that they can do things that they don't think they can.
After we teach them how to code, we get them internships, and then we get them jobs at different companies around the world.
Last year, Antoine was accepted as a fellow by Echoing Green, a nonprofit that helps fund social entrepreneurs globally.
He joins a number of incredible social impact leaders, from Mrs. Michelle Obama to global health leaders like Barbara Bush.
There's a huge amount of research that shows that communication with the loved one while you're incarcerated reduces recidivism.
It's an incredibly exciting thought on how we can better disrupt the mass incarceration industry.
Life for me now is so joyful. I wake up every day not taking anything for granted. I use my words way more wisely.
I am very proud of my dad becoming the great person he is today.
What really inspired me while I was in prison was being forgiven by my family. They were still rooting for me. They wanted me to be better and just to get home.
Surreal. It's been amazing. Like, every moment I cherish. In my wildest dreams, thinking would be this.
I take it one day at a time, and I'm super appreciative of everything that I have and everything that's coming our way.
Since its inception in 2015, Photo Patch, by the way, has delivered 600,000 photos and more than 20,000 letters. And, you know, their next venture is virtual reality communication, which is going to be great.
God bless. Great job. We'll be right back.
That was nice. That was really nice. And I am actually on the website right here. And they give you the 5 steps and everything. But I'm actually going to get the mobile app and I'm going to check this out anyway. So I think that's it for today. I think